Welcome back. Well, before the break, we were talking about how the majority of surgeons admit to blasting music in the operating room while they're operating on you. Joining us now, our medical contributor, Dr. Ali Kasraeian. All right, Dr. Ali, do you listen to music, and what kind?
Wait, I want to guess. Okay, I'm going to say you listen to top 40s.
Kids Bop. Classical.
Kids Bop! Girl, bye.
Classic rock. Classic rock.
Let me ask you, what is Kids Bop?
I don't even think she knows.
No.
It's top 40, but just sung by kids.
Yes.
I actually listen to classical music.
I
And does it calm you down?
It calms, it relaxes me, and you know, you want to be laser focused in the operating. It's very interesting. I'm a completely different person in the operating. I mean, we like to have fun and
you can't get
no
no better than this, so I could only imagine.
No, well, that's very sweet. Thank you. I'm much more quiet. I'm usually very talkative, loud, joking around and things like that. We still joke around in the operating room, but I'm just much more quiet. And I operate a lot with my dad. And I'm like the completely different person. He's kind of really taken by like how weirdly different I am because I'm just very laser focused.
It's like a meditation.
Yeah, and it's very much like that. So it just keeps you very calm, and I like to be very quiet. And so sometimes some of the nurses in the room play, you know, loud music and things, and I just like to be quiet because it also gets other people talking and doing things like that. And so I want everyone to be focused and not distracted and things like that. Sometimes, you know, one of the surgeons in the other room is playing like death metal, and it's just so distracting, and your heart's pumping out of your chest.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't like that either.
And everyone's got their own preferences, so that's what you need. You need what's important for your room, and for me, just calm and peace and focus, and it just focuses, and I need that.
Gotcha. Well, on a more serious note, we want to talk to you too about a first-of-its-kind study on editing genes in human embryos. This is for the doctor. The study reported in Nature. It dives into what could be done to genetically engineer human beings. Scientists say they fixed a mutation that causes a common heart condition in dozens of human embryos. Now, these embryos were not allowed to develop all the way into babies, but researchers say if they did, the kids would not have the condition. This is fascinating, groundbreaking research, do you think?
Absolutely, and we've talked about this concept of CRISPR on the show before. It's this clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats. Essentially a cut and paste editing tool for DNA. Basically, it's just this amazing concept of a natural system used by bacteria. When they see a virus, they got this great system where the DNA of the bacteria recognizes it. They create this enzyme that latches onto the DNA of the virus, cuts it, splices it out, and it disables the virus so it can't affect it. Scientists researched this. They saw us like, wait a minute, well, how can we apply this to other things? And they have applied this, and they can not only just target it to viral DNA, but can they apply it to other DNA? And here we see it applied to the human being, and in embryos, the implications of this, which are huge, is this. Here, very common heart condition, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a number of different heart conditions that are associated to one specific gene mutation. If you can go in there, find it, target it, get it out, allow the body to repair it itself, and that's what they did here specifically. Other applications of this are that you take it out and you can potentially replace the normal gene to be corrected. A future application. That's not what they did here. The implications of that are huge in terms of potentially correcting profoundly terrible diseases before the baby's even born. This is huge.
I think this is amazing, but I'm sure it's controversial at the same time.
Absolutely. So
I mean,
the ethical implications.
The ethical implications blow my mind.
Absolutely.
I mean, what if it gets used to, what if a couple decides they want to abort a baby, that they can't fix a genetic abnormality, or, you know, I mean, there's lots of things that could happen with this technology.
So the thing that people that worry about or talk about a lot that come up is this idea of creating designer babies. You know, if we can now go in there, and again, I premise this. This is a first study that has been able to apply this to embryos. This is not something that they have applied to humans, but the idea is if we can do this, and we can then apply it to put these embryos into a uterus, can now that develop into pregnancy in the world of in vitro fertilization and things of that nature. how far can this progress? And that's the implication for us to think about. If we can treat diseases, then if someone wants a blue-eyed, tall, athletic, smart, whatever you want,
designer baby.
Designer baby. So that's the implication for us to think about. And so as we move forward, we have to think about this technology responsibly. And, you know, there are a lot of barriers right now. NIH does not fund technology like this. The FDA does not right now take a germline technology.
And let me just jump in because I want to move on and ask you about another, speaking of making babies, how about this medical headline? Sperm counts of men in North America, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand are decreasing, going down. Dr. Ali, why is this happening? What's going on here?
So again, a great segue, you know, good news, bad news. So if sperm counts are decreasing and then we have implications like this, so being able to take that technology may be even more profound so that we can have healthy possibilities if that's going. So the amazing thing about this technology, greater than a 50% decrease in not only sperm count, but sperm concentration, which is the concentration of sperm in a milliliter of semen in developed countries. They didn't see this in non-developed countries. And so the implication is the modern world and the things that are in the modern world could potentially be impacting sperm count.
Like genetically modified food.
Absolutely.
Which could be
Pollution in the environment,
Pesticides,
pesticides,
all those things are things that people are talking about over a long period of time. This was a multi-decade study of people that 42,000 men followed for a long period of time, and other studies have shown this. And it's interesting because usually sperm count is something that is seen as a measure of the health of a society. So in modern countries and developed countries, our longevity is increasing, but now you're seeing sperm counts go down. So this is really a dichotomous bit of information.
Sorry to sound insensitive here, but I'm thinking men's sperm counts are in the millions and women's are not so much. So what is really low?
So it's amazing that the women have a sperm count. So these women have to be truly studied. So it's interesting that you say that. So eggs and the sperm is really a thing that we have to kind of think about. So for men's sperm, a low sperm count is less than 15 million sperm per ejaculation. And
that's a lot.
Right?
Well, it is, but sperm have a lot of work to do. You know, all of them have to go.
They got a long way to swim.
Oh yeah,
they have a long way to
work
swim.
to do.
I mean, they have a lot of work
And then
to
we
do.
get all the work after the baby.
Absolutely.
We sure do.
We have to do the work on the front end. But it's impactful, and you can see all that for one sperm to get to an egg, and that is profound. And so this study was from 1973 to 2011 that they looked at all. It's a long time, and it's basically almost 1.4% to 1.6% of decrease of both the sperm count and sperm concentration that were decreased over that. So 52% decrease in sperm concentration, 59% decrease in sperm count over that 40-year period.
So fertility doctors are going to be in high demand, it sounds like.
So it's impactful. Now, there's a couple things that they look at. Now, this study did not say it was because of this, that, and whatnot, but they did look at some things. They talked about things that you could potentially prevent. Smoking. So if there are things that you can prevent and kind of take out of this conversation, if you're smoking, stop smoking. If you can decrease your day-to-day stress, try to decrease that and be mindful of that. If you can have a good balanced diet, do that. Obesity is something to be mindful and try to decrease that, because those are things that you can change. Other things that they kind of make conjecture, global warming, those are not things that you as a...
Global warming?
You know, they found that the changes in terms of, well, in general, you know, sperm counts over a seasonal change are things that can happen. So if people are on the news talking about this stuff, there's nothing that you as a human being living in the chair right now that you're going to go out and change that in terms of your own personal sperm count. But you can change those other things. So stop smoking, maintain a balanced diet, exercise. Try to have things that you can change in your own life, that you can do that, and you can pass that on forward. So do things that you can change. Don't worry about the things that you can't. And with regards to the ethical aspects of the previous study, take it for the profoundly impactful science that we're moving forward, because that can change the world in a positive, but we need to be ethical and smart about it, and that is profound.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. He's Dr. Ali Kasraeian, and this medical segment furnished by Kasraeian Urology. You can hear more from the good doctor on his weekend radio show, The Conversation, Saturdays on WOKV from 5 to 6 p.m.